Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Kendall Bartley. NBC 16 News is tracking breaking news tonight. One person is dead after a train crashed into a car near Lynn Benton Community College. NBC 16's Angelina Dixon is live along Highway 99 and Ellingson Road following developments. Angelina, what do you know so far?
Kendall, they have towed away that car. As you can see, the scene is quite empty right now, but it's still very much active. Crews are still here investigating. Now, we're told it happened at the Lynn County Sheriff's Office. It happened around 3 this afternoon on Highway 99 and Ellingson Road, just south of Albany. Right now, it's unclear exactly how things played out, but we'll bring more information as it comes in. We'll see it on our website, NBC16.com. For now, Kendall, back to you.
Thank you, Angelina. And of course, like she said, we'll continue to bring you the latest developments right here on NBC 16, as well as our website, NBC16.com, on our social media pages. And we'll, of course, check back in with Angelina throughout the newscast. And new information on NBC 16 News. The woman in numerous thefts in several retirement homes is on her way out of jail. The district attorney saying more needs to be done in the case. Noelle Jendrazik was arrested yesterday on more than 100 charges, most of them felonies, but the case hit a snag today. NBC 16's Lauren Negretti joins us live from the Lane County Jail. Lauren, police say Jendrazik confessed to these crimes, so why exactly is she being released?
That's right, Kendall, and she can be released anytime between now and 10 p.m. There's actually not a set time on that. But as for the release, simply put, District Attorney Patty Perlow says there's just not enough information right now. Now, District Attorney says that the Junction City Police need to provide with more information, evidence that backs up her confession. Under Oregon law, a person cannot be convicted of a crime with a confession alone. So they're still awaiting that information. The case is active and it's under review, but it's not clear when Jendrazik will actually appear in front of a judge again. Now, Junction City Police say that they're working with the District Attorney's Office to provide that information, but also they have a full photo album of all the recovered items, and they're hoping to connect that with the people who've lost them. So you can head over to our website, NBC16.com, for that full list. For now, we're reporting live in Eugene. I'm Lauren Negretti.
Thanks, Lauren. Portland city leaders want federal officers off the streets, and now they are suing the government to try to make that happen. In a lawsuit, the city attorney also says a recent move to federally deputize Portland police officers is unconstitutional. Portland joined Oakland city leaders in a lawsuit. That lawsuit is the latest in a back and forth between Portland city leaders and the Trump administration. Red Gazaway from our sister station K2 in Portland has more.
Federal officers first came to Portland shortly after President Trump's executive order to protect federal monuments and property at the end of June. Portland and Oakland city leaders filed a 48-page lawsuit this week accusing the Departments of Justice and Homeland Security of unconstitutionally taking over local law enforcement responsibilities. The cities say instead the policies, quote, reveal a distinct and meaningful policy shift to use federal law enforcement to unilaterally step in or replace local law enforcement departments.
The U.S. Marshals have a duty to stop that and defend the courthouse, and that's what we are doing in Portland.
The lawsuit said Attorney General William Barr and acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf did not seek Portland's consent in sending federal officers to the city in early July. Further, quote, defendants did not act at the direction of PPB Incident Command that had been policing nightly protests for over a month when they were in town. Tung Yin, a professor at Lewis and Clark Law School, is a little surprised the lawsuit is being filed so close to the election.
Of course, if Trump wins re-election, then presumably you need to continue the lawsuit. But I would think that if Biden wins the election, that we'll see a reversal of the actions that are being complained of.
The main complaint is that this federal law enforcement presence infringes on states' rights. The lawsuit also pointed to the recent deputation of Portland police officers. That was done ahead of dueling rallies at the end of September. The U.S. Attorney for Oregon denied Mayor Ted Wheeler's request to de-deputize them. The lawsuit says, quote, the practice of continued non-consensual deputation of Portland's law enforcement officers unconstitutionally infringes on Portland's authority to end the deputation. Yen says the city has a good case on this complaint.
That was Right Gazaway reporting. Wolf has frequently responded to Portland city leaders through tweets. So far today, he has not responded to the lawsuit on Twitter. We'll update that story when more information becomes available. To wildfire coverage now, where there is a long road ahead in regards to cleanup after the Holiday Farm fire destroyed more than 173,000 acres. A big concern is hazardous waste. NBC 16's Keely McCormick, she drove up Highway 126 today to see the damage. She joins us. Keely, share with us. I went up there a few weeks ago. It was unrecognizable for me. What was it like for you today?
Kendall, a lot of trees cut down, broken guardrails, but ODOT is working to clean that up. On Monday, they'll replace 1.5 miles of guardrails. The cleanup efforts, it's made up of 3 different state agencies, one of them being ODOT. The task force is working with a 2-step process. Step 1 starts Monday and will include cleaning up paint, bleach, and other flammable dangerous items. This is CODA and the state.
But it's a huge expense, and these localities with strained budgets are going to be in a bind if they had to undertake that all by themselves. So that's where the FEMA element can control.
FEMA funds 75% while the state pays for the other 25%. In order for them to start step 1, they need homeowners to sign a right of entry form. Head to our website for that link. Step 1 is expected to finish up in December. Coming up, we'll have ODOT is doing to make Highway 126 drivable, and when we can expect things to be cleaned up and normal. Back to you, Kendall.
Thank you, Keely. And a Roseburg law firm is teaming up with some wildfire law firms to sue Pacific Power, claiming the utility caused the Archie Creek fire. Jeff Mornerich of the Dole Colwell law firm in Roseburg has gathered Michael Watts and Robert Julian to help sue the utility company. Now, they're known for suing PG&E over the Northern California fires a few years ago. They were able to get the fire victims $13.5 billion in a settlement with PG&E.
There's hundreds of people that lost millions of dollars in terms of home, personal property, tree value, and the like. And this is a fire that was fault. This fire is the fault of Pacific Power. Pacific Power ought to pay for the damage that their fire caused.
The firms claim a tree fell into a Pacific Power electrical line. They believe Pacific Power negligently re-energized the lines without removing the debris. Watts says they'll probably start filing lawsuits next week. The fire is still at 95% containment. And NBC 16 News is learning West Coast wildfires this season exposed more than 8 million people to hazardous pollution levels, causing emergency room visits, to spike and potentially thousands of deaths among elderly people, according to an Associated Press analysis. As you may remember, right here in Lane County, we did experience several hazardous air quality days. The analysis of smoke exposure was based on the EPA data from hundreds of air quality monitoring stations. And with that, let's take a first look at weather. Alan Matthews joins us now from the Weather Center. Alan, as you take a look outside, it's absolutely beautiful and clear right now.
Yeah, actually it is. Of course, you remember 24 hours ago we had a little bit of cloud cover out there. Today, that is not the case. Skies relatively clear, maybe a little bit of a haze out there, but all in all, not too bad of a day. A little bit cooler, though. Temperatures reaching the low 60s right now in Eugene. We're at 62 with the sunny sky. A little windier as well. North winds at 17 miles per hour and our humidity at 58%. Take a look at the highs around the area. Coos Bay hitting 67, Eugene at 63, and Roseburg with a high of 68. And you can see those record highs. Yeah, we are well below that by 25 degrees. Coos Bay 17 degrees below their record high for the day. Not a lot to show you with the radar satellite. You saw the clear skies, and that is reflected right here with our radar satellite. As far as our power planner is concerned, we get into the evening hours. Those clear skies will continue. In fact, they will continue into your day on Friday. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer. We'll tell you what to expect with the upcoming weekend with our full forecast a little bit later on. Kendall?
Thank you, Alan. On to the race for the White House. With just 19 days from Election Day, both candidates are competing in town halls right now. President Trump is in Miami and Joe Biden is in Philadelphia. You can watch President Donald Trump's town hall right here on NBC 16 tonight. You can also watch it on our website at NBC16.com/watch. The town hall is scheduled for 8 p.m. Meanwhile, Vice President Mike Pence was in Miami today for a Make America Great rally. He's been campaigning across the country in Michigan yesterday, Wisconsin Tuesday, and Ohio on Monday. And Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris has put all travel on hold through Sunday. The Biden campaign announced this morning one of her staffers tested positive for coronavirus. They say neither Harris nor Biden had any close contact with the people who did test positive. Election ballots are on the way. Lane County Board of Elections tells NBC 16 News about 266,000 ballots were sent out today. The majority of those ballots will be delivered by early next week. However, some people will have to wait. There was a surge in last-minute voter registrations. Lane County Clerk Cheryl Betchart tells us that up to 2,000 ballots will be mailed on Monday, October 19th. Those are from the voter registration deadline. Some other dates you need to take note of. October 22nd, that's when all of the voters should have received their ballots. October 27th is the last day to get that ballot back in the mail. After that, you'll want to return your ballot to a designated drop box or county elections office. It must be received by 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 3rd. That is Election Day. Taking a live look at the Capitol this evening, Judge Amy Coney Barrett is now one step closer to becoming a member of the Supreme Court. The Senate Judiciary Committee wrapped up its final day of hearings on her nomination. Judge Barrett was not there. Instead, lawmakers heard from members of the American Bar Association on her merit. A vote to move Judge Barrett's confirmation to the full Senate is scheduled to happen 1 week from now. To a coronavirus update now. While college-age cases are on the rise here in Lane County Public Health tells NBC 16 News they're also seeing a rise in cases among K through 12 students. Public Health tells us the transmission is happening at activities outside of learning, like sports. Public Health says recreational leagues for both kids and adults moved inside this year. These kinds of events are allowed, but Public Health says they need to be done a certain way to make sure the virus doesn't spread, like wearing masks.
Unfortunately, with any activity, we see a certain amount of individuals who are non-compliant, and we see a certain amount of individuals who may be compliant but just forget.
Public Health says they're boosting their messaging about distancing and avoiding contact. There are nearly 2,000 cases in the county. 175 people are currently contagious. And NBC 16 News continues to track statewide coronavirus numbers. The Oregon Health Authority reporting tonight 374 new cases and 3 new deaths. The state has more than 38,500 cases, and there have been 611 deaths. Coming up next, terrifying moments for people on board a boat in Florida, why they were forced into the water. And when we're not on air, we continue to bring you the latest developments on our website, NBC16.com, on our Facebook page, KMTR News, and you can also download our KMTR News app on your phone for free.